Welcome at the presentation of the Master Track of Urbanism of the TU Delft. My name is Christel Albers and I am the coordinator of the Master Track of Urbanism and therefore the person to take you by the hand and inform you about the Urbanism track. In this presentation, I will briefly inform you about the Master Track Urbanism program, as well as about practice after graduation. And finally, I will refer you to some students and former students to gain information about their experiences. But first of all, the program. Swifts or marlets, those tiny black birds that tend to fly high in the sky, make all kinds of maneuvers on beautiful summer evenings. They create their own route, going up and down, switch and turn. They show creativity, flexibility and willfulness. But in the end, when entering their nests, their routes are quite pre-programmed or predefined. They all tend to turn left immediately after entering. Within the Master Track of Urbanism, we treat you a bit like swifts. We try to provide you flexibility to maneuver in your own way, answering your curious questions, giving you time for research topics that you are interested in. While we also offer you a fixed framework that guides you through our program and supports you in ticking the boxes of our end terms and obtaining the desired master diploma. Our program is built in 2 years. In the first year is organized in 4 quarters. The second year is fully focusing on your graduation project. In year 1, the first, the second and the third quarter are all fixed. They all provide a design studio and a parallel supportive course. And although locations may be fixed, students are free to choose their own approach and define their personal research and design tasks. In these 3 quarters, different didactical forms are alternating in the studio setup. Individual projects as well as group work will be intermingled. The 4th quarter actually provides you lots of freedom. In the 4th quarter you enroll for your choices of elective courses. The second year is focusing on your graduation project. With 3 supportive courses, we're helping you to set up your individual, self-defined graduation project. One course will actually help you define your project, set boundaries for your project, as well as find the studio and mentors you need in order to support your project. So after those 2 years, if all goes well, you have worked on all kinds of assignments in different didactical forms, and you have successfully completed a graduation project on a topic that you were most curious about. For all these projects, both in the first and in the second year, it will always be a combination of different skills. Projects will always be approached through these skills. When you enter a question from a regional perspective, you may want to answer this with solutions on a street scale and vice versa. So through these skills, you will come up with questions, with problems, but also with the way to find solutions. And in all these projects, both in the first and in the second year, there is always a balance between research and design, and a combination of research and design. Whether you start by researching the problem at stake and come up with a design solution, or whether you want to provide a solution from a design point of view to identify which problems this solves or raises, there is always this iterative process of researching and designing, checking that the solutions you've come up with are the right ones, but also that the problems you initially identified are real, need to be solved by an urbanist. So this combination of research and design is really integrated in our program. Throughout the first year, research and design are in balance, so you focus just as much on research as on design. In the second year, however, you have the opportunity to focus more on research or on design. That's up to your project. Both components will always be integrated, but the balance may vary. Is this track interesting for you so far? Is your heart beating any faster already? Let's have a look the other way around. Are you the one for this track? To answer the question if this program and you are a match made in heaven, I would like to take a look at the character of the general urbanist. Urbanists are endlessly curious. They tend to search and research over and over again and come up with solutions, alternatives, and scenarios. They have a desire for well-balanced, fair and sustainable solutions. Not just for a few lucky ones, but for everyone. They go beyond formalism. There's not just one best answer. They tend to come up with new solutions looking at tasks and designs from different angles, taking into account the interest of many stakeholders. They want to be part of a broader context. They want to make sure it's achievable, support the interests and goals as described in local policies, and are embraced by many. And they have a genuine interest for society's development. How do people use public space? How does their behavior change over time or related to the situation they are part of? How can they be invited to become the best version of themselves? This means also that you have to be idealistic, or at least a little idealistic. Not just focusing on one, but trying to make a better world for all people, a complete society, for everyone. This doesn't mean that if you do not tick all these boxes, that you are not suitable for our program. If you tend to tick only one of these 6, you may want to reconsider your choice. If you think your character is like that, or you find that your heart beats faster, then maybe urbanism is the right choice for you. And although architects tend to be famous, urbanists are rarely famous. Actually, urbanists are the connecting link in projects. The urbanist is the one who connects all the different roles, different disciplines with the project. From landscape architecture to public space designer, to the guy or girl who does finance or traffic, urbanists try to bring it all together, come up with a solution that fits all. They are the ones who solve the puzzle, creating a merger of interests. Within our program, but also in practice, you will face a number of challenges as an urbanist. Challenges such as fast urban growth. How to deal with 2 million extra homes in the Amsterdam region. And how to come up with an urban planning solution for that. What about solutions for global migration? How can spatial solutions help solve and prevent urban social inequity? And how to design streets, neighborhoods, cities, regions in such a way that there is no lack of diversity. How about environmental issues and health? And urban mobility? Will there be automated automobiles in the future? And what are the consequences of this for urban design and for streets, cities, and regions? How do we deal with data and ICT evolution? And will this change our behavior in cities and in streets? And how to adapt to climate change with heavy rainfall or drought and a different ecology in the future. And finally, the energy transition. How do you deal with the demands for energy in the beyond oil era? So how about practice? Our students end up in several positions after graduation. There is a wide variety of jobs. So whether they become an urban planners or urban designers at a design office, or whether they start working at a municipality or governmental agency, it is all possible. Others end up as academics, researchers, or urban advisors, and some even have completely different jobs. It is quite diverse. You could work on scientific research at a university, or on creative design at an architectural or urban design firm. Or projects and topics you work on can be more landscape-oriented or city infrastructure-oriented. Focus could be either on small scale or big scale. It can be object-oriented or more like a strategy or a strategic agenda for the future. It could be a local theme or something international. And it can be a project that focuses on top-down solutions or a bottom-up approach. And everything in between. So how do students actually experience our program? That's not something for me to answer, since I'm not a student. So I would like to invite you to watch the video on our website, created by and with students and former students of our program. This gives you an important insight into how students actually experience our program, or how they look back on our program while they're alumni now. Do you already know if this program is for you? Well, if so, that's great. We hope to see you next year or a year later. If you're not sure yet, I would like to give you some extra information. For example, through the website of the TU Delft, or by contacting POLIS, the Student Association of the Urbanism track. as well as the landscape architecture track. Or visit one of our master events. I hope that we can reply your questions in order to provide you with an answer whether this program is yours. I hope you now have enough information to make a good choice for your future, whether it is urbanism or something else.